Kristin, in the political world, the federal political world, Joe Biden, well, they just keep turning up more documents. Can you believe it?
Well, sadly, yes, I can believe it. This has just become hilarious. The most recent seizure is actually probably the most damning because classified material was seized dating back to his time as a senator. That ended in 2009. That means that we've had classified documents that were floating around for decades. We don't know where those documents were, who saw them, and this is very bad news for Biden. I mean, he is suspected to have had ties to Hunter Biden's shady overseas dealings. So who saw these documents? Where were they? These are questions we need answers to. But of course, right now, Joe Biden and his press secretary continue just saying that this was not intended. It was just a mistake. But as these troves of documents keep showing up, these excuses just are not believable.
Yeah, well, speaking of them, let's just have a look at what Joe Biden said a couple of days ago and what his press spokesperson, Karine Jean-Pierre, has been saying. And this, to me, is just evidence that demonstrates a White House in crisis. Have a look.
I think you're going to find there's nothing there. I have no regrets. I'm following what the lawyers have told me they want me to do. It's exactly what we're doing. There's no there. Thank you. All right.
He said he was surprised. He said he was surprised. I'm just going to leave it there, and I'm going to refer you to the White House counsel's office. I'm just repeating what he said, and he said
you just said. You said he didn't know the documents were there.
He said he was surprised that the documents were there. He said that, and that he takes this very seriously. That's what I want to make sure that the American people understand.
I mean, Kristin, he's surprised. He doesn't really know what's going on. Let's just leave it all to the lawyers. I mean, who's running the show?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, this whole inadvertent excuse has become totally implausible. This is now the fourth document seizure that's been announced. I know I said it last week, but I'll say it again. We have a two-tier justice system in this country. Biden had his own lawyers go through his house to find these documents, while the weaponized Justice Department did this enormous unannounced raid on Trump's private residence. I mean, the double standard is so obvious and in your face. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. It's absolutely ridiculous. Normal Americans are completely fed up, and making things even more absurd, Chris, and just proving the absurdity of our justice system. This week, we learned that an FBI agent who investigated Trump and came up with nothing has now been arrested himself for Russian collusion. I mean, it is just completely absurd. But I do think that Democrats, prominent Democrats, are finally starting to turn on Biden slowly because they see that this does not look good. So this could really be the beginning of the end for his higher approval ratings and the good times for the Democrats.
Well, Kristin, the double standards we've spoken about that before. It's just so obvious. Even here in Australia, you won't be surprised to know the leftist media, the publicly owned media especially, treated the raid on Donald Trump as if he was the perpetrator. This was justice coming to get rid of the evil ex-president Donald Trump, yet hardly a whisper about all these documents that are being discovered in Joe Biden's backyard, in his garage. But in the US, of course, even CNN can't ignore the double standard. Have a look at this exchange with Nancy Pelosi.
Here's what you had to say about Donald Trump and his problems this summer. Take a look.
If the nature of these documents is what appears to be, this is very serious. Very serious.
Do you think that classified documents showing up in Joe Biden's office, home, 6 years after he was vice president, do you think that's also very serious?
Well, it depends on the nature of the documents. What I said, as you were listening, was if the nature of these documents is what it appears to be. We don't know.
Always, Kristin, leaping to condemn Donald Trump in the strongest possible terms, but now with Joe Biden, it's all, let's see, let's get all the details, let's play it all out, and they hope, of course, everybody loses interest.
Yeah, these Democrats are such a joke. Just a few months ago, they were telling us it was the end of democracy because the president had some classified materials, which, by the way, he had the power to declassify. But now that it's Joe Biden, oh, there's nothing to see here, just move on. But I will say, that I think that things are turning a little bit. And the Democrats, if this keeps going and we keep getting more of these classified documents coming to light, I do believe the Democrats will use this as an opportunity to push Joe Biden to the side and, decide on someone else for 2024, because this is not looking good. And average Americans who are kind of giving Biden the benefit of the doubt are now realizing that this is not good. This guy's a liar. And the Democrats and the media, they have just been playing politics this whole time. They don't care about democracy. They don't care about classified materials getting into the hands of the wrong people. All they wanted to do is take down Donald Trump. That has become totally, flagrantly obvious to everyone at this point.
Thanks for joining us, Kristin. We'll keep a lookout at over the next few days, see if they try and sneak a shredder into Joe Biden's residence there in Delaware.
Thank you, Chris. Always a pleasure.